Got the missus moving brush into a pile for me. Yeah. All right, we're gonna get the 462 going here and start working all this. I got a bunch of it marked, including that black birch. We'll run the 462, get all the stuff cleaned up. Yeah, start chunking the top into firewood at 16 inches, and then I got my marks for the saw logs. And we'll see when I get the tractor over here if I can pick them up. So got a 12 footer and two 8-footers. I always cut them 6 inches over those marks, just, you know, for excess if I did want it. But again, most of this lumber is going to end up turning into probably flooring, furniture, you know, things like that. That talking to guys that run sawmills, a lot of times, you know, they bring in these giant long logs, like 20 footers, you know, 16, 18 footers of hardwood. And at the end of the day, they're longer to mill because you need a bigger mill to mill them. And ultimately, the end user who's going to be using that hardwood is going to be using it for things that are smaller, you know, 6 feet and less in most cases. So even when you're doing hardwood floors, you know, a lot of that, as an example, is you're cutting varied lengths, varying your joints. So I'm really just trying to minimize the amount of logs that I have to put in the back of the dump truck. But a lot of this stuff will end up getting cut probably shorter. But if I can get some 12-foot nice boards out of that one log, you know, I need to refinish the floors in my barn. My mom's going to need some flooring in her house at some point. So it'd be great to do it out of trees on the property, especially a big, old, beautiful red oak tree like this. So anyway, let's get to work. $462. I just hit some metal in that tree. And we're gonna have to sharpen the chain or swap it to one I've got in my cutter bag. Yeah, so when the tree came off the stump and rolled a little bit, the chain hid, and the 12-foot mark was right on that chain, or at least part of it that was dangling, and all it took was just touching that steel chain with the chainsaw, and that chain it's fine. It's a newer chain, so it's got plenty of teeth on it. I'm just gonna have to sharpen it, so I got it back up. I always like painting these orange this time of year. I'm gonna flip the bar while we're at it. Now before you tighten your bar nuts, I always like to put a little tip pressure and snug that chain up. Especially when it's a new chain. Yep. And so now we can cinch these. Check our fuel while we're at it. We're good. All right, chainsaw's back to serviceable. Actually, I don't think I'm going to touch it anymore until I get the grapple over here to pick those logs up. It's pretty much all the way cut through. Don't need to, I'm not going to roll it over either. It's heavy and I didn't bring my PV anyway. So wait till we get the tractor back here. These two are all free, so it gets cutting on the top here. All right, I want to pause real quick and talk about this top. So, as you can see, we've got a bunch of the thicker part of the trunk bucked up. But one of the big things that people really need to pay attention to is limbs that are under tension and compression or lots of pressure. This limb over here is leaning up against this tree, and it actually caused a break right there. So I'm not going to be cutting this from where I'm standing now. I need to be standing on the other side of the tree because that's where it's safer, right? And we're gonna free up that top off of that tree, so then we can start to work on this and it's safe. If I were to just put a saw into that tree, it's not safe. And you can see the evidence of that with that break. There's a lot of pressure there, and that just broke red oak. So gotta be safe when you're processing a tree. You know, it's dangerous when you're dropping a tree, but a lot of people go, oh, it's safe now the tree's on the ground. And it's like, it's still unsafe. You got to pay attention to what you're doing and really make sure before you're just putting cuts into things that you're thinking it through, especially when there's so much weight attached to these things. So let's go about this safe and methodical, and we'll keep working here. Made some progress. Maybe take a break and blow leaves. bark's already popping off. Look how red that is, huh? This tree is gonna make some beautiful boards. Crazy. We're way up the tree. Make some kindling out of this piece. See what we're gonna do. Now you're stacking on the back of a truck like this, you know, to heap up. It's good to just make a wall. Always try to maintain a little rake in as you build the pile up. You kind of stack in a little further with each row. Angles going down. Just really helps to retain the wood that you fill up behind it.
Little one's trying to get down and play with the wood. Just like her daddy.
Now if anybody's just tuning in to this video and haven't watched dropping this tree, check it out. This tree's been dead standing for about a year. All these leaves you see on the ground are not from this tree. This tree had zero foliage on it this year. Mostly from oaks. There's a big oak over there, a couple big oaks over here, a couple of maples, some black birch. So we're gonna get the leaf blower back over here and blow all this stuff. And collect wood for our friend Mr. Outdoor Wood Boiler. So this log is 12 feet long right now. The tractor can pick up like 1,500 pounds, and it's just too big. I mean, it's a red oak log, it's really heavy, and it's big. So what I think I'm gonna do is cut a couple of 16-inch firewood rounds off of it. The log tapers a bunch anyway, so a lot of it would become waste milling it out. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut a couple ends off. We'll get closer to an 8-footer, and yeah, that'll just go in line with the other 2 8-footers.